welcome to Everything Opposite Podcast, where we talk about stuff.
And things.
Yes.
Opposite stuff and things.
Yes.
And everything.
Yes. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, so
That's
yeah.
what she said.
God. We haven't even said our names yet, and you're already doing it. That's what she said.
Yeah, you got to start them early. I'm Aaron, Big Daddy Fetty, and this is Derek, Dr. Phil LeBove.
Yeah, no, we're not naming ourselves. That's just weird.
I'm still going to call you Dr. Phil, so we can just...
All right,
But that makes sense. It fits the episode, right? I mean, no, it kind of does.
I mean, but we're both basket case, I think, so...
Yeah, but you... Yeah. No, I mean, I really don't... I don't have anything for that. No, you're right.
What were you going to try to defend?
I don't even know. You see, that's we're at. You guys got to understand. We're deep in this right now. So I don't even know. All right. I mean, there's nothing I can defend for either one of us on this topic. At all. This is gonna be bad.
And I would preface this by saying this is gonna be a serious episode, but after last week.
Yeah, we were trying to be serious, and then we talked about Raising Cane's. So I don't really know. Apparently, we can't be serious. But this one is serious.
Last week we had moments of seriousness, but it kept derailing to Cane's and Popeyes.
Right, it was like a Popeyes chicken sandwich. It's moments of chicken, but it's mostly bread.
Yeah.
Right.
But this week we are going to talk about mental health because I felt that was a very important topic for us to at least touch on. Because I feel most people, to at least some degree, struggle with mental health.
Yeah, and, we're finally at a point where we can talk about it. I mean, and I don't mean us, like we've always talked about. I mean, just in society. Because for a while you'd be like, oh, man, I'm depressed. And you're like, shut up, bitch. And then they hit you in the head.
That's only for dudes, though. Because I feel women can...
I think there was even a point for women, though, where it was kind of downplayed, right? At very least. I'm going to defend that. I'm going to say there was a point where I think it became more acceptable for women sooner, but... It was downplayed for a long time.
Well, I do think, isn't there a thing where women are actually more likely to be underdiagnosed for depression and stuff like that?
Really?
I think I've read something like that where, like...
I always feel like it'd be men, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I think just mental health in general is just kind of blown off a lot. Which is not a good thing, because mental health is just as important as physical health. If not more important, because if you have a healthy mind, you have a better chance of having a healthy body.
No, you really do, and that comes back to what we talked about last week with the staying motivated. It's very hard to stay motivated if you hate yourself, or if you strongly dislike yourself or anything about yourself. And 90% of that's all in your head, man. Straight up, like anytime you're beating yourself up. And I don't mean to say it's all in your head, like, oh, you can just deal with it. I mean that it is in your head. It's a mental thing. And if you can corner it through therapy or medication, you'll generally do better. Mm-hmm. And sometimes just meditating on it, I think the Buddhists got it right on that one. If you can just turn the lights off and turn your phone off and just shut up for like an hour. And look, that's hard. An hour's hard, but even 30 minutes. Just sit there and kind of just like confront your problems one by one, deal with it, dismiss it, and move on. Sometimes that helps. But a lot of people get so far gone in it that they have to have some sort of outside assistance. Or either that or they have a problem that's so deep that they need outside assistance, which is fine too.
Yeah, I mean, we all have problems. We're all human. We all have to face demons.
Yeah, and vices and all those things, and they all lead back to, more problems.
Yeah. But I definitely think that, like I said, it is kind of tossed to the wayside when it comes to mental health, because it's more of a, well, just stop being sad. It's not that simple.
Yeah, it's not. And there becomes a point where it's not even that you're sad anymore. There's a sense, you might know what I mean, where you get kind of so gone that you're like kind of just numb. Like there's really no feeling. It's just kind of like, I'm existing, And that's almost the worst part, because at least when you're sad, you can kind of be emotional. You can experience it.
Yeah.
But, when you let yourself slip to that point, it's like, what am I even doing? What's going on? Because there's nothing, And I think that's the true test of issue there. And look, I mean, you did the college thing, and, it's easy for people to look from the outside, I know. I mean, I did for a long time, and we've had those conversations. I don't know how much you want to get into it, but and think, well, man, he's doing everything right, so everything must be going great. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about how it wasn't really going great?
So, from my college experience, I would say my freshman year was not all hunky dory, because there was a long period of actual depression that I just kind of just felt myself. It started the second semester actually, because my first semester I was so busy with marching band and all those trips and practices and all that stuff that I was too busy to. I was also with the friends a lot because I was with Jarrett Reed a good bit. We hung because he was like right down the hall from my dorm, but also just band friends. We were hanging out after games, after practice. All of us were just kind of hanging out. So I was kind of in a fairly decent place mentally, but the second semester there was less of that. So it got to a point where I did kind of fall into a depression where I was kind of just existing, as you said, where I would literally just be in my room for the entire night just by myself because my roommate ended up getting an apartment very early on in the school year, like back in the fall semester. So I had my entire dorm room to myself. I had like it was like a suite mate kind of thing where you had like a common middle room where it like led to the bathrooms and then each of the bedrooms. Mm-hmm. But my roommate in my room was gone, so I kind of talked a little bit to the guys in here, but they kind of stayed to themselves for the most part. They mostly just played like video games, studied, and all that stuff. For me, I was just by myself. I was playing video games, watching YouTube videos, whatever was kind of just keeping me busy. But it did kind of get to a point where I was having to kind of cope with depression, and I did find that's I think where I first discovered that writing music, even if it's terrible music, is a good outlet for me. Which I've even discovered to this day that anytime I start getting like anxiety, especially in social situations, if I start singing to myself, I can actually kind of get out of it.
Right. Yeah. I think for me, yeah, no, I feel that 100%. And we're lucky enough to have the very little ability that we do have to be able to do those kind of things. But I've always, for me, when I get like that, I usually just listen to like the saddest music I can find. I don't know why that works, but emo music has always been there for me. You know.
Sometimes you just need a good cry.
Yeah, I don't do that, but but no, I feel that. I know what you mean, and I think there are songs that will bring on emotions, and it might not even make sense, but it works. So then what? What happened after that? Where were you at? What was going on?
I mean, after that, once the semester ended, I was able to go home. It kind of got better. I also started working at Walgreens, which I remember around the same time putting the application, you actually came over one day to it was for E3. That's when we discovered about the PS4 and stuff.
Yeah, it was at your house. Yeah, they were talking about Rocksmith.
Yeah. It was
Jerry Cantrell on there from Alice in Chains. I remember that.
But, yeah, so that summer I kind of was able to kind of like recharge a bit. Mm-hmm. And I never fully got out of that funk throughout 2013 and into 2014. But I feel like finally kind of started getting better in about 2015. And 2016 was when I met Hannah and Holly. Mm-hmm. They were both around early in the year. And that's kind of when I was able to kind of have less depressive episodes. Like, they still happened, but
right.
They were farther and fewer between because I was like able to have a social life, being able to do stuff with people.
You're not like alone.
Right? Yeah.
That's the main thing, is not being alone. And being stuck in a dorm rooms are like prison cells.
They really are.
It's weird, man. I've been to a lot of colleges, but I've never seen a dorm room that I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm usually like, ooh, what
like,
the hell?
Despite being a brand new dorm room, so at least it was clean, but it really was just 4 bland walls.
Yeah, and that makes it really hard. When you're sort of like in a box and you're alone, you don't really know anybody. You've never been the person like me where you can just go out there and be like, woo, and people just kind of like, come around you, which I'm not very good at unless I'm drinking. You experienced that firsthand.
Yeah, I only get people around me when I'm dancing, and that is very rare. I do remember in 4th grade, though, there was one time I started dancing, and I don't know why, but all I was doing was like doing jumps where I was like crossing my legs, like, and just some people just started getting around me. They're like, "Go, Derek, go, Derek," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna just keep going." And these like girls are just like getting all into it. I'm like, "Oh, geez, do I stop? Oh, geez."
Oh, geez, Rick. Oh, geez. Okay, Morty, calm down. Mr. Meeksy, look at me. No, I think, yeah, it's a true skill to be able to kind of just like put yourself around people, and then they come to it. You know, I mean, we went to Baton Rouge that night. I got so many friends that I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that once you get to know me, it's fine. I'll become like your best friend. But if we're just like in a situation where I've never met you before in my life, it's gonna be hard for me to be able to just talk.
Right. No, and look, I think for me, so I guess my end of that is a little different. I've always had people around me, but I think that I've developed such a persona that isn't me, right? Like I think, like I cut up a lot, but that's because I'm a really sad person. I think that's a thing, man.
I mean, I do find people try to hide behind depression with jokes.
Yeah, and I catch myself doing it more as I get older, and I try to put myself around people that will cut up with me, because I don't have to address any real issues. I can just be like, insert random joke here, and everybody's happy. And it makes you feel better, because you're kind of like making other people happy, right? That's like a thing. And also, even just listening to other people's problems. There were plenty of times where, like, if other people are talking about what's going on in their life, it's much easier to not think about what's going on in your life. You can really hide behind other people's problems, and that's a nice thing. You know, it's not the right way to deal with it at all, but it helps. For me though, it's always been like sporadic. Like everything will be fine, and I'll just be like, you know. But I think it's because for a while, like I'll go through these points where like we're always playing shows, or I'm always doing stuff like this, or band practice. You're doing so much, so you can't even think about it. And then like when everything settles down, it's like, oh, I'm alone with my thoughts. You know, what's going on, man? You know, I sort of have that dark side Kermit thing going on, where he's like, you know, it's weird.
Yeah, but I do find the depression hits hardest at night, because that's when everything settles down. You're not going to work, you're not going to school.
That's probably why I go to the gym so late. I'll be honest with you. I think that's what it is. Because I can run away from it, and then like I can get so exhausted, and just I'm asleep
for 2 hours,
and then I get up and do it all over again.
But I do find you would probably sleep better if you could get your mental health a little bit better.
Oh no, you're definitely right, and it's something I'm working on, trying to find out what's going on.
Because just stress in general can cause you to overthink things, and since your brain's constantly in overload, then it's harder for it to like calm down and just go to sleep.
And I always overthink everything, dude, A to Z. If you name a topic, I'll overthink it.
Potatoes.
Yeah, you can. It took me a second, but you can get on a trip with potatoes, brother. You definitely can. It can be some problems.
I don't know why potatoes is always my go-to. But just a little inside joke for Holly. Fire potato.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Oh, I'm not gonna tell you. But Holly, if you're listening, that's for you.
Fire potato.
It's an inside joke with something we were working on a while back. It was a story idea.
Okay, I'll let it die.
But yeah, I definitely feel mental health is something that, on a small scale, can be worked just by talking to people.
Absolutely. But yeah.
But if it gets to a point where even talking to people feels like a chore, that's the point where you need to.
Yeah, either that or you need to reevaluate the people in your life. If it's because sometimes it's the people. I mean, sometimes you have people in your life. You're just like, it's actually these people. That's what I don't want. You know, you gotta shake it back up, and there are certain people that you can't take out of your life, and that's when it's a problem. But certain people you can, whether it's friends, whatever, girlfriends, whatever it is, and you have to reevaluate your whole situation. You got to take a step back and just kind of look at everything. And if you realize like, okay, it's just me, then you got to go deal with that.
Yeah, because there was one girlfriend. I'm not really gonna get too much into it, but there was one girlfriend I had that my mental health got so off being around her that it it literally gave me anxiety just to hang out with her.
I don't know which one that
I'll explain that one after, but
is. Is it most recent or is it?
I'll explain later.
Oh God, but I want to know.
Because I don't want to give hints to who this is, but there was one person who gave me a lot of anxiety just to be around.
Text message. I want to know, man. Will it make sense? Will it be like, oh yeah, of course?
Yeah.
Oh, then okay, I probably know who it is.
But it definitely is a lot to do with the people in your life, because there are people in my life who do make me feel better. Like Hannah, she's always there. She honestly comes to me with all her problems, and a lot of the times they are just like small problems. But it's just nice to know that I'm not alone in having problems.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing is that, it's really hard to judge people's I learned it when I was a cop. Somebody calls you with something that you think is dumb, and you're like, it's so dumb. But you realize, like, to them, that's a big deal. They just called the cops. Like, they just made me come talk to them. Or requested that I do so. And you'll learn, like, you don't, some things that we consider small because we consider our problems bigger. But then if you take a step back from yourself and you look in on your own life, you kind of like look from the eyes of the universe, if you will, you'll see like really everything's small. If you choose to see it like that, but really, everything affects people different, man. I mean,
yeah, that's why I really like the picture. I'm sure you've seen it on Facebook or whatever, but the picture of like the little tiny wolf that like has the one arrow and it's like just done for, but you got that bigger wolf who has like 10 arrows in him and he's still going.
I never saw that.
Really?
That sounds kind of sad.
It is a sad picture, but it kind of illustrates the point of what might seem small to this person doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't hurt them.
Right. No, right. Absolutely. Well, that's it. I mean, and again, that's something you learn being a cop, because also you see that things are layered. Like, this person called because so-and-so's dog walked through their yard. What you don't know is so-and-so and this person have had issues before because of something completely different. Like, everything is layered. So somebody might say, oh, you're fat. And you might be like, whatever. But somebody might say that somebody who has legitimate body issues, and that might be a thing. And I used to not be sympathetic for that at all, but I've grown to be, because you don't know, man. People deal with some crazy stuff. You don't know how their parents were. You don't know what happened to create them as that person.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that has to be dealt with.
Yeah, we're all unique people and we all have our unique problems. So you just got to make sure that if you do accidentally cross a line, even where like maybe you make a joke that can offend someone, as long as you're not like getting yelled at by the person, I mean, you should be able to apologize. Be like, hey, I'm sorry for crossing that line. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, and the reverse of that, though, is when you're that woman or man or woman or man that was in that GameStop in California. It's ma'am. Like, that was ridiculous. That's not how you address people who have wronged you. That's how you get people calling you ma'am. Or sir, rather. You remember that?
No, I don't really keep up with the...
You didn't see that video where that woman or man or... I don't know how to call it. Anyway, he's in whatever. They're in a GameStop and trying to return something, and the guy's like, "Sorry, I can't do it. Sorry, sir, I can't do it." And she's like, "It's ma'am." You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Dude, it is hilarious. And the point I'm trying to make is that you also have to understand that you may think something is super serious, and sometimes you have to kind of like you have to lead people to that. They don't just you can't expect everybody to just accept your problems. But most people will understand him if you approach him the right way. Yeah,
because in that scenario, it's just he was ignorant to the fact of what gender you were.
Right, and
so that's just something you have to like just educate him on. Just be like, oh, I'm a ma'am. That's all you have to say. Just say it in a kind, gentle way. Just educate people so that way they can better talk to you in the future.
Yeah, we really shouldn't attack people for saying ma'am or sir, because that's it's a respect thing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how many times somebody accidentally calls you a woman on the phone? Let's be honest.
Way too many times.
And I mean, you don't get mad. You just kind of, all right, whatever. Like,
yeah, it's gotten to the point at work where I'll be like, they've called Walgreens, how can I help you? And they'll be like, yes, ma'am. I was wondering if you had this in stock. And I'll just be like, I'll go check that for you, and just
let it be, man. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, for me. But for some people it might. So you have to, but that's kind of on you to educate people to some degree, right?
Because while it is a bit of a self-deprecating humor kind of thing, I'm able to joke about it when that happens.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, if that happens to me, I think it's funny. Now, I also don't I don't really base my life around my gender in that regard,
Mm-hmm.
but some people do. Again, that's mental health, and I think so. I'm willing to say, if it's that big of a deal, tell people what you want to be called, and I'm sure most people call you that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely a firm believer in if someone says something to you as either a joke that's meant to be lighthearted, that's fine. But if it's like a serious attack on you, then that's when you can get upset. But I just kind of brush off things, whether it's an accident or a joke. But if you're seriously just attacking me for stupid reasons, then that's kind of when problems arise.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be like, to me, that like they would have to be like blatant. You
Yeah.
know, like if you're following somebody around, be like, like that's a thing, right? But
Yeah.
if you just make one comment and then it's like dead, and then like then that person comes back at you, because then it's like you're putting somebody on the defense. Now you're making them kind of like you're cornering them to try to prove your point. Just kind of makes you look ridiculous.
Yeah. Because, like, back before I lost my weight, there was actually a customer who apparently, I might have at most caught, like, a glimpse of the customer who was, like, several aisles over. And she went up to the front, was like, oh, this manager saw me and didn't help me. And she referred to me as the fat manager. And I was just like, what the crap?
What a bitch.
You could have just said, oh, the manager or the male manager. You didn't have to say, oh, this fat manager.
Yeah, she's just a bitch. I mean, look, that's just what that is. I mean, that's not how you. I mean, what? How's that ever acceptable? In that regard.
It's not like we've been saying.
She was like the big guy. You know, she was like the fat man. She's a bitch. What are you doing?
Well, look at me now.
Who's fat now, bitch? was she a small woman?
I really don't remember.
Oh man, I hope she was kind of fat, and then now she's like Jabba the Hutt, because it would be like she gained all the weight you lost, and she'd be like, "You're the fat manager." Like, no, you found it though. Whatever I was, you found it.
It disappeared off me, and it was like that venom symbiote that just kind of like crawls away, and then just leached onto you. But so we've kind of talked about like our personal battles with mental health on kind of a small scale. We're not telling everyone all our problems, but
Yeah, I have a lot of problems.
but so how have you kind of coped with things?
Man, I'm in the middle of it. I'll be honest with you. This music, running from myself. At this point, I'm really just trying to take it day by day. And I could say that, I mean, because right now, as of recording this, I'm dealing with it every day. But music's a big thing, you know. There's a couple people I can talk to about it, and it's rough because there's some people that you kind of block out, and you shouldn't, but it's what you do. I don't really have an answer for it yet. Hopefully, one day we can follow this up and I can tell you this is what's going. This is what I did. This is how it worked out, and that would be awesome. But definitely surrounding yourself with more positive people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key. That helps a lot. It's dealing with things when you're alone. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Hopefully I'll have an answer. Maybe I'll like strike gold in that department and be a billionaire. Be like, this is how you deal with it. You just drink like herbal tea and punch infants in the face. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things that could be.
I don't think those are the answer, but and I don't recommend giving them a try either. Just do you, but don't do you.
Yeah, doing me gets me in trouble. Anyway, go ahead.
But for me, I do find people are the biggest coping mechanism. People and music are my copings, because the right people can kind of motivate me to just A, feel more social, and B, just kind of get out of those ruts. But like I said, music, that helps me with my anxiety. Like, there's been times where literally I'll just kind of like sing maybe a Panic song or a Fall Out Boy song or just whatever's on my mind. I'll just kind of like sing it to myself kind of softly. That'll actually help me get through whatever anxiety I'm having at that moment. Because something about music, man, it just...
It's medicine for the soul. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our thing. Some people read books. Some people watch movies. Some people take drugs. I don't know. There's a lot of things people do to help fight depression. I meant like I didn't mean like actual depression. I meant like drugs, like illegal drugs, narcotics. You know. But I would not suggest that. That's a slippery slope there. But yeah, I mean, I think you're right though. Definitely people, surrounding yourself with people, people that make you feel better, people that you can talk to, especially people that you know may have had similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your depression stems from, and most people, you know, you can break it down to that point. You just have to me at least, you just had to be honest about what it was, you know, and that's what you have to do. Once you do that, you know, you know people in your life that experience that. You sit them down, you talk to them, and you will feel better, and you'll feel better for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't help, you know, there's a lot of ways, man. You can hit me up, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that would rather you talk to them than sink further into yourself. And you know, you can therapists, you can go to a doctor, and there's a lot of things that can put you in the right direction. And that sometimes that's all you need. You just need somebody to like stop you from spinning and just point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and I feel there's always a different type of friend when it comes to helping you out. Because you might have different good friends who will help you out, but they'll take different approaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they'll be like the blunt in your face, like, yeah, dude, you need to work on that. You need to do this.
Sometimes they'll offer you a blunt and they'll smoke it and it'll make you better. What?
We don't condone drugs on this podcast.
I'm not condoning drugs. I'm saying that sometimes you have a friend that offers you a blunt. And what I'm saying is, but you're right. Their friends have different benefits in that regard.
Because you're gonna
find the one that fits you the most.
Yeah, because you're gonna have that one that's more serious. You might have the one who takes like a humorous approach to it, or just someone who makes it more lighthearted. Because I definitely feel I'm more of I can be blunt when I need to, but I can also add a bit of humor to it.
Well, and it's important because you never know what medicine, as far as that kind of stuff, and I say medicine because it helps. Everybody, you know, you have friends for different occasions in that regard. You know, you got a friend that might tell you, look, man, you got to get your shit together. You got to get all your shit and put it together. You get all your shit and you put it together. And when you do that, you know, sometimes that's what you need. You know, sometimes you need that friend that's going to give you a hug, pat you on the back, and say, look, it's all right. You know, it's going to be all right. Everything will be fine. And you break down. You feel weird afterwards, but that friend's got your back. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of friend that is. But that's why, you know, that's why you need a lot of friends. You need people that are different. You need people that are going to try to keep you going, you know. And you also need people that are going to be honest with you and tell you, look, you need to go to a doctor. You need us to do this. You should see somebody about this. For real. Seriously. Like, those people are trying to help you. You might not feel like it, but they really are, man. They really are, absolutely. Those are the people that are trying to help you the most sometimes. They're telling you things you don't want to hear, but that's what friends are for. Friends can't always tell you good things.
And when it comes to friends, definitely quality over quantity.
Yeah, I probably got like 5 really good friends. And I got a lot of acquaintances. I'm not talking bad about any of you guys out there because I'm all, you know, if you guys ever need me, we're friends. We'll hang out, we'll chill, whatever. But I mean, there are like 5 people I tell everything to, you know, and 3 of them are my different personalities. So really, I got like 2.
Wait, when did this become split?
I don't know. I'm just messing around. Yeah, I don't have that issue. But no, I don't tell everybody. You know, you got 5 people. You know, I got, you know, like you, come to you with stuff. My buddy Nolan, I roll up to Nolan's house, man, anytime. Doors open, food's on the table. You know, we'll talk. You know, have a drink, everything's fine. You know, buddy Eddie. There's a few people that I can do that with. You know, and that's sometimes. You know, sometimes that's not what your friends are for. Sometimes you have a friend that instead of doing that, you're gonna get drunk and do dumb stuff. But that's just what you do with that person. You know, everybody's got a place. But yeah, definitely quality over quantity. You know, I'd rather have 5 great friends than a bunch of flakes. Just is what it is.
Yeah, because, like for me, Hannah, she's a really good, she's like the well-rounded kind of, you can do it kind of person.
It's so weird because Hannah saying you could do it would make me not want to do it. Like, she's so like, you can do it. Whatever.
And then there's Amaya who, she's somewhere between kick you in the balls to get you back in line, but also at the same time, she's like, just will hug you and be like, it'll be okay.
I love Amaya. Amaya, if you listen to this, I love you.
Okay.
I mean, not like weird. Like, she's a cool friend is my point.
Okay.
I meant weird. I didn't mean weird. I'm just joking.
And there's also Holly, who's just a really good, I mean, she's more than just a fun friend, I guess.
Yeah, like, you know, I would imagine you call her if you want to laugh. You know, if you want to, like, you know what, I'm having a rough day. Holly, say something funny. She'll say something funny. I don't know, whatever she says.
She would be like 420 blaze it, then dab, and
420 blaze it, then dab. We're not promoting drug use.
we do promote dabbing though.
420 blaze it, dab. Really, that sounds like a Xbox Live gamer tag. XXX 420 blaze dab XX.
Dab, Doritos, Mountain Dew.
XXBR 4-shot dab 420 XX.
Hashtag memes.
Hashtag memes. I hate when people call it that.
Memes.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Look, I'll quit talking to people for that. Like, I don't have a lot of pet peeves. That's one of them, man. Or you ever see, like, try to pronounce the word Q? Like in your Netflix queue? They try to put query or Curie.
Quay.
Whatever. Yeah, I hate it. It's Q. Just say Q. I don't...
What about GIF?
I don't really care about that one. I mean, it's a GIF, but whatever. Like, I'll let that one slide. I like, when it comes to Q, it's like, how about you try to say words right, you uncultured swine? Like, you know.
But it is weird that Q is 5 letters, but you're only pronouncing 1.
Well, it's French. You uncultured swine.
Thanks.
I'm saying, like, it's, I mean, like, if everybody's saying something one way and you're not, you're probably wrong. Most of the time you're wrong.
Or it could be Mandela effect.
Just go with the flow. You're wrong. Look, here's how things work in this country, right? If the majority of people are doing it, if that's the right way to do it.
What if it's completely the wrong way and you're one of the few people who are actually right?
Then you're wrong.
So just because the majority thinks it's right.
America.
You know they did studies on that, right?
America.
Like there's studies where they put people, like several people would like do an ABC test.
Yeah, and everybody, sooner or later, everybody starts doing it wrong. Most of them convert to the wrong way.
Yeah, like they'll have like 4 staged people and then like 1 just regular person, and that one person's gonna either stick to the guns or once they kind of see like, oh A. I thought it was C, but A.
Yeah, no, and they're smart people. They just fall for it every time. It's
Yeah,
like
'cause
a weird, I guess, like cult mentality thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's just you're gonna follow the majority just so you don't stick out.
Speaking of mental illness, cult mentalities. Rather cult leaders, not cult mentalities. I can see how people fall into that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. A lot of those things seem to start with the best intentions.
And they kind of go south and...
Oh, they go to hell in a handbasket, for lack of a better way to say that. I just think that, but that's again, that's severe mental illness, man. These are people that want to control people, and, you know, they just happen to be smart enough to say the right things. But, I mean, really, dude, if you start screaming, I mean, Scientology is considered a religion. Like, that's, I mean, that tells you all you need to know right there. Like, if you say some wild stuff for long enough, people will fall for it. Like, that's, like, I don't know what it is, man, but you can just say whatever you want. Sooner or later, people will fall for it.
Well, that's another thing that's that goes on is the more you're exposed to something, the more likely you're to think it's correct or right.
That makes sense, yeah. I mean, so that's how you kind of keep people in line for all those years, you know? Keep people, like, following your bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I'm going to say it. Scientology is not real. It's wrong, 100%. We're going to get sued for this. I'm just letting you know that's what they do to people, but they're wrong.
Dude, we don't have the budget to fight a sue.
Absolutely. What are they going to take? Are they going to take our lives? They can't take our freedom? What are they going to take? They're wrong.
I mean, they could take our lives.
But they cannot take...
They could take our lands.
I didn't know, but I mean that. Like, I mean, that's, you know, that kind of stuff is definitely people with mental illness who run some big organization that basically, like, use that to take advantage of regular people who then basically end up with a mental illness. Like, they end up being indoctrinated into some weird stuff, man. And it's definitely not okay. And look at those people when they come out, man. So many of those people have so many issues because they're not, I mean, they're basically slaves. And they're forced to do all kind of crazy stuff.
I mean, every bad person is a hero in their own story, though.
No, I mean, look, you're right. You're totally right, but still, you're bad. Like, I mean, did you ever hear the story about where they had to go and, like, Tom Cruise, I think it was when he was with Katie Holmes, he wanted to run through, like, a field of daisies or some shit, and they made all these people, like, again, they're like slaves. They made them go out there and plant all these daisies and, like, make it all perfect so Tom Cruise could run through this field. Yeah, that's a real thing, man.
But why?
And Tom Cruise is insane, dude. Like, he's crazy. That guy is crazy. Like, legit insane.
The only thing I've seen of him that's insane was that whole couch thing on Oprah.
Dude, go listen to his interviews, like at the Scientology, like, yearly meetings. Like, he's into that stuff way too deep, man. Like, he believes L. Ron. That would be like if George Lucas started a religion. You know that? Like, that's the same thing.
I would consider it.
Yeah, look, it's fake, Derek. Star Wars didn't happen, okay?
Wait, what?
It didn't happen. It's not real.
Wait, what?
We're talking about mental illness, so it needs to be addressed. It's
but,
not real.
But it's in a galaxy far, far away. How do we know?
Oh, shit. No, that's actually a good point. We don't know. But why would some fat dude named George Lucas know? Like, why would he get those messages?
Because he got a broadcast that came in late. It took light years to get here, and he was the one who intercepted it.
He was the only one who got it.
Yes.
Nobody else has got it.
Yeah, he was
the
one who got it.
The U.S. government didn't get it first. But
No, he was doing experiments in college. And
oh, right. Yeah, that's called LSD. Okay, that's not. He didn't do anything like real. He just listen. All right, we'll talk about that after the show. I can tell you though, that's just drugs. What if he did though?
What, got an actual, like...
Yeah, like some kind of weird, like he's watching his, like, 10-inch box TV, like, shoots on, it's like all this information, it, like, downloads to his brain. This went weird.
I mean, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, man, that's those aliens.
That's those aliens?
That's them aliens.
That's them aliens, boy, and they took her dirt.
They took her gerbs.
That's a funny episode.
They took her gerbs.
South Park does a good job exploring mental illness a lot, actually. I think if people would watch that show for what it is and understand that they're simply exposing things through the eyes of kids.
Yeah, everything just... It is super raunchy and just super mature, but it does tackle issues.
Yeah, like, I mean, you remember the witch episode? You ever saw that episode?
Dude, there's like 20-something episodes. I don't remember every single one.
20-something? There's a lot
more.
more.
No, 20-something seasons.
Yeah, okay.
What I meant.
No, it was one of the more recent ones. I don't know, it was funny. The Jack and Crack Week, they go smoke crack and drink Jack Daniels, all the dads, and they're all witches. And then one of the dads gets like magical powers.
Oh, I think only I half paid attention to that episode.
Oh man, and then Mr. Garrison drops like a nuke on him or some shit. They shoot him like a laser from the sky. I don't know. It's a great episode. I don't know what that has to do with mental health, but it's a great episode. Oh.
But God, where even are we?
Dude, I don't even know what as far as the notes go. Where are we? I mean, got a couple more minutes to kill. So what's up?
But I mean, we kind of more or less covered everything. But I mean, like we've been saying, mental health is definitely something that needs to be addressed. Start with your friends, but if it gets to the point where even they're not going to be able to help, which I mean they're going to do their best hopefully, but don't be afraid to go to a doctor, go to a therapist, go to whoever you need to go to, because your mental health is just as important as your physical, and it will affect you.
Sleep and meditation. Those are big things. And, you know, if you're a praying person, you can use that as a form of meditation. But, yeah, you know, try to... Sometimes, if you're still at a stage where you can still force yourself to get out there and experience life a little bit, it'll help. You know, go hang out with people, go to the zoo, look at the animals. I'm serious.
Yeah, I like going to see all the cute little animals.
It was a sense of peace in it, right? Like,
yeah.
There's a sense of, like, we're not so different.
Like, it has a weird smell there, but other than that, it's great.
What's it? It's a damn zoo. I mean, of course there's a weird smell. But when you do all those things, those are legitimate things. And look, it's rough. Sometimes, like, I've been there where you're just like, I don't even want to get out of bed, you know? You're just kind of staring up at the ceiling for hours on end. I totally get it. But if you can force yourself to do that, and you may see a change in your attitude, you know? and you're right, man. Spend time with friends. Go out. You don't got to get drunk. Go out, have, whatever. Listen to a local band like Left on Red. Maybe read a cool little short story by Derek. See what I did? Those
Yeah,
plugs.
low-key plugs, like it.
Low-key plugs. Yeah, I've been working on that. I like to make them known, so they're not low-key anymore, but, fuck it. Damn it. I didn't mean to, man.
But yeah, that's also, when you mentioned the laying in bed and just staring at the ceiling, I think the thing that kind of saves me from just staring at the ceiling with my own thoughts is YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy just to find something to entertain yourself. Like lately I've been watching, there's a channel called Screen Rant, and they do these,
I got Screen, I'm subscribed.
Yeah, they do, what is it, I'm forgetting the name of it, but, Pitch Meeting, where they basically take a movie, and pretty much they point out everything wrong about it, but in, like, a pitch meeting kind of way, where it's like an executive and the writer.
Yeah.
And it's just really funny just to hear the holes that are poked. It's like, well, why does this happen? I don't know. It's like, well, it should be really hard for them to get out of this situation, right? It's like, oh no, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. Like, it's really entertaining.
I'm gonna have to get on that. I never knew about that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I got Screen Rant. I just did not know about the pitch meeting one.
But yeah, them got into Smosh recently, hence the hoodie.
Awesome.
But
Awesome. Yeah, I like YouTube. I like podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Anything that have some noise, you just gotta, the hardest part is dealing with yourself when you're alone. That's really the hardest part.
That's where podcasts and YouTube really come in, because it's like you're there with someone. Even if it's not a conversation back and forth, you still have that extra voice, that kind of comforting kind of, I'm not alone in this room.
Yeah, especially podcasts, because they all condensed, and these microphones are fantastic, and everything sounds so nice. Everything sounds clean. I find it relaxing. Now, some podcasts, everybody gets loud, but, for the most part, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, I think we've gotten loud on a few episodes where we got, like, really excited.
Yeah, stuff got funny. Yeah, definitely. But, no, man, I mean, I'm good with that. I think, just don't be afraid to talk to people. Trust me, somebody will point you in the right direction. They really will. And, you may not want to go in the direction they point you in, but it's everybody, nobody wants to lose somebody to depression in any form, even if it's just, you just kind of become a hermit. You don't need to do that, man. There's too much cool stuff in the world. You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah, sometimes people just need a hug. That's all they need. They just need to know that everything's gonna be okay.
Damn it. You need a hug, bro?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, because not on camera. But you guys check out Derek's short stories. They're probably full of mental illness. That's probably how a lot of them were written.
The first one a little bit, but
Everybody dies, right? Check out my band, Left on Red. Again, we appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I've been getting some comments and some stuff, and we're glad that we can keep providing you with this amazing content that you won't find anywhere else. It's all, it's all organic. It's like a garden up in here. We're growing stuff.
Oh, that was quite a metaphor, but
Right, but it worked. It's organic garden.
Yeah, it works.
Garden veggies.
But yeah, just
money.
Yeah.
Skirt.
What the?
Now you almost said it. You know that.
Except I have the control to stop.
Yeah, I did too until I said it.
But we hope that you keep the conversation going. This is definitely a topic that we think is definitely one you need to kind of keep going in the comments. You don't necessarily need to talk about your own personal problems, but just maybe give your own stories.
Help me. I mean that, in the sense of we all deal with it. So by your comments, you never know what you might say that might be somebody's saving grace.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Like, don't be afraid to tell a story of how you overcome depression or anxiety or just anything like that, because it might help someone else who might come across those comments. But just make sure you're nice to each other and don't be afraid to help out each other. I think that's about it. Just check out our Facebook page, website. You can find the podcast pretty much anywhere. If not, just let us know. We'll see about adding it. But
You can even add us on Facebook. I mean, actually, all my stuff's private right now. So just hit the page up if y'all want to add. I'll add you.
yeah, the easiest thing to do is just talk to us through the Facebook page because we do get those notifications if you direct message us through
Yeah, we both get them. So if it's specifically for one or the other, we'll, whoever gets it first will let the other person know. You guys have a good one, man. Love you guys. Stay strong. One love.